Lads, how we doing? Hope we're good on the Monday shift. I can tell you, if you're waking up in England, it's nearly 5 o'clock here now in Australia. It's a good Monday, so enjoy it. Enjoy the Monday. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. Got some good stuff, hopefully. Nice stuff. Nothing too mental. That's what we like, isn't it? Nothing too mental. Nothing too mad. Just nice stuff. I had some nice stuff. I made some Jamaican brown stew for some mates, and it went really good. It went really well. Really quite happy with the results. Feedback was good. Jamaican mate was very impressed, and that filled me with a lot of pride about my cuisine skills. Cuisine skills, cooking skills, catering skills, which I don't think I utilise enough. I don't cook enough, basically. Anyway, today I was thinking about how quickly human brains just adjust to whatever's going on, good or bad. And obviously, when there's something bad going on, it's a real positive that your brain adjusts to that and it just becomes normal. But it's a shame that when something really good is happening, like long term, you like stuff's really going good for you, or you're having a really good time, your brain just sort of adjusts to that and it makes it normality. It's really hard to not take it for granted, isn't it? I think like a holiday is a good example of this, where for maybe 3 months up to it or longer, you can't wait to go on holiday. You paid for it. It's going to be sick. You're doing whatever. You get there. You buzz in. First night, you might have a drink. You might do whatever. This is great. I'm on holiday. Next morning, oh my God, didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m. for work. This is amazing. No washing up to do. Wow. But by the second day, third day, your brain has just adjusted to this new life. It's almost like, oh, this is just life now. And you might still have moments, obviously, of, you're going to enjoy the holiday, but you've still almost got to remind yourself that I'm sitting by a swimming pool. And 2 days ago, I was, in 30 degree heat or minus 15 degree heat, cold, not heat, cutting bits of, asbestos, if that's your job. I was inhaling asbestos 2 days ago. Hopefully no one is doing that. That is illegal, and you should not be doing that if your boss is asking you to deal with asbestos. You need the relevant tickets and PPE. So hopefully no one's doing that. But that's a real tangent to go off early on in the video, isn't it? So sorry about that. But yeah, you adjust to your holiday pretty quick, and there's millions of examples of that. Probably not millions, but thousands of examples of that. I think eating is one of them. You anticipate when you're hungry that it's going to be so good. Oh, eating. And the first bite is amazing. But then you're just like, yeah, just eating now. Normal. And it is, you take it for granted. You cannot help but take things for granted. It's like, imagine if you were given a week to live, and it got to the week, you surpassed a week, and the doctor went, sorry, made a mistake, it wasn't you, it was someone else, you're fine, you've got the rest of your life to live. How buzzing you'd be like, oh my God, I've got my whole life, I'm not going to die today. But then by the third day, bear in mind you've been basically given a new life, you'd just be like, this is just normal now. And it's a shame, isn't it, that that's the way your brain works. And I think it needs to do that for survival, I guess. It's probably an inbuilt sort of system of, it's called homeostasis, and that's just sort of trying to remain in neutral, not in that fight or flight, and not in that like excited sort of place that you can get into. So maybe that's what it's doing. But it also adjusts to the really bad stuff, which can obviously be really beneficial and to be honest, like life saving really, because some of the positions that people get themselves into, sometimes not through their own fault, can be awful, and people live in awful conditions at times through no fault of their own. But you do adjust, and these people do adjust to it, and they still find moments of happiness and gratitude. There's obviously countless stories of people going to slums all over the world or war-torn countries, and people have got nothing over there, but they're also really, really happy people. And a lot of people struggle with that, don't they? Because they're like, I've got everything back home, and these people are happier than me. But it's just that brain just maintaining and adjusting and maintaining that homeostasis. So you shouldn't beat yourself up if you're not happy or like buzzing with a new car you bought last week and you're like, why am I still so excited? Your brain just adjusts to the new car. And that is why like purchasing things isn't a way to get happiness. It's a very short-term 48-hour buzz you get, of course, and if it's something that you need or you really want and gives you fulfillment, then that's great. But the actual happiness part doesn't really work with just buying stuff or, I don't know, going to a theme park every day. Like I said, your brain just adjusts to these cool things that you can do. But the great part is it adjusts to the really bad parts. But I think also, just to sort of conflict against what I've just said, I adjusted to, with my drinking, I really adjusted to just drinking every day and being hungover all the time. And that became normal to me. And now I'm like, that is not normal. That is not normal behaviour. And being ill a lot of the time is not a nice way to spend my week. For like 5 days of the week being hungover, 4 if I was lucky, that isn't normal. But my brain had adjusted to it so much that I was almost happy in that state. And I think where a lot of sober sort of content creators go wrong is they tell themselves a story that they were constantly unhappy when they were drinking. And of course there are some people who were that. And I was definitely like heavily depressed for a lot of my drinking, and it did me no favours. But I also was really happy at times as well. The weekends especially, I was absolutely buzzing on a Friday, like high as a kite. Yes, substance aided, but I was happy, you know, on the surface level. My brain had adjusted to that like shallow happiness that alcohol can give you. So yeah, I could go on about your brain adjusting for ages, because it really is interesting how, you know, my brain has now adjusted to sobriety and having weekends that aren't filled with madness and hilarious tales. You know, I just have a pizza and a 90s movie maybe. That's all I need. But my brain is adjusting to that now, and that gives me happiness, that gives me fulfillment. I've just bought 10 packs of World Cup football cards. I'm so happy about that. I can't wait to open them. I've got the book, and I love them. I love collecting these cards. So, just a little insight there. Hope everyone's good. I'll see you Tuesday. Hope everyone has a great Monday. Hope your weekend was good. Hope you made some nice memories. I hope it was nice. I hope you're nice, and I hope you subscribed. See ya.